Hello everyone, and welcome to our second week of the Meet and Connect sessions. This is the first actual session we are doing, so if you're joining us this lunchtime, welcome. Obviously, just want to check that everybody can see and hear us, so if you just want to come and say hello using the question and answer section in this webinar, then we can just making sure while we wait for a couple of others to join us that everything is in working order. So just say hello and just let us know that you can hear me. I'm just waiting to see if people are saying hello and just to check that you can hear me. So if you can go into the Q&A section and just let us know you're there. And you can see the PowerPoint presentation and hear me okay before we make a start. Yep, so people are saying hello. So hi Bruce, hi Nikki. Nice to have you join us. So we'll make a start. Good afternoon, everyone. Like I said, welcome to our fourth Meet and Connect session. I'm Isabel van der Heeren, and I'm the lead for Transformation in Children's Services. And the reason why we do this Meet and Connect is kind of as a result from other webinars that we have done, and the feedback that people have given was that they would like have some focus sessions on services and organisations that are out there to help and support children, young people and families now. So that's why we decided all the way through June, July and August to do a number of half-an-hour workshops to do just that, kind of put organisations in the spotlight, enable them to tell you what they provide in terms of children, young people and families, and supporting them and how to access their support. And then the Connect bit is kind of put a face, the name of an organisation and a team. At the end of the presentation, you will have their contact details, and then hopefully you reflect about how you can connect with those with that person or that organisation to help and support the children, young people and families you are working with. But also you can interact with us today. If you've got any questions about today's presentation as we go through it, then please put your questions in the Q&A and we'll pick them up at the end of the session and make some time to make sure that all your questions are answered. And just to let you know as well that today's webinar is being recorded and will be published on the Safeguarding Partnership website as an electronic resource. So if you want to go back or you want to, you think that colleagues could benefit from what we've covered today, then please point them to the website. But the PowerPoint will also be sent out to you directly and will also be available on the website as well. So today we're focusing on one of our summer holiday programs, the Keep in Touch team. Just before I hand over to Joe Phillips, who has been leading on the Keep in Touch team, I just want to make sure that people know that this is a key part of our summer program, but not the total part. So it's a delivery method to support our children, young people and families. On Wednesday, we'll be looking at another part of the summer program, which is Things to Do Delivered to You, which is about activity boxes for vulnerable children and families. And on the 8th of July, we'll be looking at a virtual offer as well. And there may be other summer holiday provision that we want to support through the Meet and Greet session, but those are the three that we have got planned. So if you want to find out more about those other two, join us on Wednesday or join us on the 8th of July and you can find out about those other parts as well. So we're ready to make a start. Remember, you can ask questions as Jo goes through her presentation and we'll pick that up with you at the end of the presentation. So without further ado, welcome Jo to our Meet and Connect session about the Keep in Touch team.
Hi. My name's Jo Phillips. I'm part of the school inclusion team, and this year this is the third year that we're doing the Keep in Touch team, and it will be myself and my colleagues in the school inclusion team. Next slide, Lorna, please. Okay, right, so the Keep in Touch team, it's for pupils and their families open to early help in schools. So schools are leading on early help, and any identified pupils that schools feel may be vulnerable. Also, obviously, we're in this situation now where we've got COVID-19, so we've recognised that also. So schools may identify children that have experienced different things during this time, so they may feel that they're vulnerable. The programme will run for the whole of the 6-week summer break, and it will include calls and visits to those most vulnerable. We're taking a three-tiered approach to the support, and we're asking school colleagues to consider looking at the risks and vulnerabilities of the children and young people being referred. I will go through the different 3 levels later on. Right. Next slide, please, Lorna. Right, the aims of the KIP project is to offer support and advice to vulnerable families during the summer break. Like I said, that will be through home visits and contacts over the telephone. We will be signposting families to general local provision and services, respond to any safeguarding concerns reported or observed by school inclusion workers. We'll provide a check-in to families open to the Early Help Hub, families waiting to be brokered to lead professionals in schools, including step down from children's social care families. We'll also supply food bank vouchers to families in need. Next slide, please, Lorna. The objectives of the Keep in Touch team is to keep children safe over the summer period where they are not in everyday contact with their school or school's lead professionals. We're there to support the parents to forge or maintain relationships with services, link vulnerable families and children to local positive activities and positive interventions. Also supporting those more vulnerable due to COVID-19 and the risk of ASB or crime. And also to provide an extra level of child sexual exploitation and criminal exploitation prevention and linking them into the appropriate services. Next slide, please. As I said, we've got a three-tiered approach. So we're asking schools to RAG rate them. So looking at if a child is green, and then that the frequency of contacts you could expect from the service. We will do telephone calls across the 6 weeks. We also email activities and looking at consideration for outside the classroom activity. Next slide, please. Then there's the second tier, which is amber. So obviously the frequency of contact we would give to families. The weekly calls will be different. We may be needing to drop off food banks. So it's for schools to look at the level of need for each child that they refer into our service. Next slide, please. And then there's looking at red. So these families might need a lot more support. You know, you're a lot more worried about them. So, yeah. Next slide, please. Right, so I've just gone back and looked at a case study from a previous referral we had, just so that you've got an idea of the kind of things that have come up. So we had the referral in from school for this particular family. It was due to dad having concerns about the youngest child's behaviour at home. Dad really struggled to put in appropriate boundaries and he let them get away with quite a lot of things. He was worried that during the holidays their behaviour would escalate, the children would get bored and then start fighting, and then he wouldn't be able to deal with it. So the Keep in Touch team, they went out and discussed what Dad's fears were, you know, what he felt was going to go wrong during the holidays, any medical issues, fears around is the ex-partner, possible support for transition to secondary school. And then we provided them with the summer activity booklet, which will look completely different this year. As Isabel said, is it the 8th of July? That part of the...
Yes, it is. 8th of July.
Yeah. So that was a way for us to be able to discuss with Dad and the children what activities they enjoyed doing, what they wanted to access. Now, what we found was that Dad wanted cheaper or free activities because he was struggling financially, which we didn't realise when we had the referral in. So that was a good way for us to discuss and look at them things with Dad. The workers contacted the local children's centre locality team to clarify information on what groups, because Dad really struggled with reading and writing, so he felt more comfortable for the worker doing that for him. The family were able to attend the brunch club at the locality hub, where the family had enjoyed food and the children had played, which was really good for their morale. Father had developed a problem with his eye, and it became infected and needed looking at. So the worker, you know, had that conversations with him. They arranged for him to get bus tickets so that he could go to a hospital appointment to get his eye looked at. He also had an issue with one of his elder children where they refused to return to him. So the worker was able to sit and discuss with Dad, you know, what was going on, how he was feeling, what the next steps was. And then they went and visited the child to find out, you know, what was going on, how he was feeling, you know, and is there anything that we could do. But the very next day, they all came back to brunch club together, which was really good. So they managed to work that out between them. Also, whilst they were attending the brunch club, Dad was able to access our school nursing team, where they had a long conversation with him. They raised concerns. School nursing then linked back in with our early help hub and had them conversations and went back to Dad and asked if he needed further support, which he did. So we was able to offer him more support through an early help assessment within our locality team. So that was a really good partnership way of working for us and linking it within other services as well. Next slide, please, Lorna. And this is just some feedback we've had from schools last year over the service, which is something that we've done previous years, and we've been able to adapt to the service to make it better for the next year. So we had one school saying that they'd referred in 2 families, and it was reassuring for them that the families were both contacted during the summer regularly, and as they weren't going to be in contact with school. One family in particular took advantage of the support offered, and it really helped move the situation on. It really benefited the family from the signposting, and then knowing that when they went back to school, they still had the support. So, and then the last one, what an excellent service this year with clear impact. Because what we did last year as well, we provided a report back to school on what had been done throughout the summer with these children, so that they were able to continue that level of support going forward from September when the children returned. Next slide, please, Lorna. So, right, as I said, the service is being run by the Early Help School Inclusion and Wellbeing Service, and it will be the school inclusion officers that will be providing that support. We're also linking in with the voluntary service, also in partnership with One Warsaw and Black Country Women's Aid. Black Country Women's Aid are offering a service which has also gone out. Right. So we're not able to accept referrals for families that have a social worker. So what should happen is, in the first instance, discuss the family's needs over summer directly with the social worker and the lead professional, and they will be able to look at what support is available for them. Also, please ensure that any families you do refer into the service, that they have consented. They have to have consented to be able to access the service. And schools are also able to use a summer programme referral form to express an interest for pupils' family to access the other summer offers, which, once again, sorry, Isabel, what was the date for the thing to do delivered to you?
This Wednesday.
Brilliant, thank you. And making a referral. So what we're asking is that you make referrals on the electronic forms, which has gone out on the daily updates to schools, and it will also come out from your school inclusion officer. If you click on the link, it should take you to the electronic form. But if you are struggling to make that referral electronically, you can get in contact with Vasilina or Reginda on the above emails. Or if you want to have a conversation with somebody, you can contact the Early Help Hub on 0300 555 2866 option 1. Next slide, Lorna. Is that the last one?
So there's a couple of questions that have come through, Jo. So yeah. One is the cut-off point for referrals.
Right, we're not having a cut-off point this year, obviously due to the COVID-19 and the situation that we're in. We're not having a cut-off point. We want schools to be able to refer in any time.
Okay, brilliant. And if they, I guess there's not a question around the rank rating, but I guess if schools are unsure and want to come and talk it through, they can contact yourself or the team.
Yeah. They can speak to us, or if they want to speak to somebody on the hub and then they need a bit more clarity, then they can come to us. Yeah.
Right. There was a question around, is it available to children's social care? And as Jo's already pointed out, it's not where, if a social worker is involved, then the Keep in Touch team isn't the right team to be supporting. This is specifically where schools have been the lead professional or are the lead professional, and due to schools having a holiday break, even now, I think a well-needed kind of break from the hard work that they've been doing. This is about continuous service while children are in the summer holidays. It's making sure that they have got that continuous support. If a social worker needs some additional support, then conversation with the Early Help Hub, or there will be some information on Wednesday and on the 8th about what else is available over the summer programme.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing any other questions at the moment. I'm just going to see if there's any more questions from anyone. So just to reiterate that all of the PowerPoint presentation will be sent out straight after this session. There's no further questions, Jo, so I think your presentation is very clear about the support that's on offer through the Keep in Touch team, and hopefully people will take the time to kind of review which children and young people could do with the support that's needed over the summer. I think now more than ever, it's really important that people think about that need and what that support needs to look like, especially with the additional complexity with COVID-19 and the impact that may have had on children, young people and families. Oh, there is an additional question come in about what age groups does the Keep in Touch team cover?
5 to 18.
Okay.
No, sorry. Yeah, because it's school. Yeah, it's school. But
school age children, so all the way from primary to secondary school. Yeah. Brilliant. Somebody's saying, can we send a link to the electronic form? I guess in the PowerPoint presentation, when you click the link, it will take you to the electronic form. Is that right, Jo?
We can make it so that it can be like that. Yeah.
Okay, we'll make sure that the link to the electronic form will be sent out together with the PowerPoint presentation this afternoon, if that's okay for people. Okay, so there's a question about nursery children. So I guess as a Keep in Touch team, you're not just going to work with the child that's identified, you work with the whole family if that's needed.
If that's needed, yes, we will, but you will have to fill in a form for each separate child because obviously we would need the children's information.
Yeah, okay. But if a child from primary school or secondary school is referred and you go out and make contact with the family and they're kind of giving some needs that relate to the younger children, you wouldn't disregard them, you would work with them as a whole family.
Yes, yeah, it would be a whole family approach, yes.
Yeah. In terms of the nursery children, if you feel that nursery children, your nursery is closed over summer and they need some additional continuation of support, then it's really important, and you are the lead professional, so there is an early help assessment or you are involved in an early help way, then we would recommend that you phone the early help hub and discuss the unmet needs that might be there over the summer, and then we can have a look whether some of our locality teams or who would be best to support those children at nursery school age. So if you have got children under school age, then get in touch with the Early Help Hub and have a discussion about the unmet needs that might be there. So yeah, there was a question from Goldsmith Academy about can we refer 2-year-olds? So as we said, not to the Keep in Touch team, but if you've got 2-year-olds that need additional help and support because your school is closed over the summer, then give the Early Help Hub a ring and we can discuss what support can be put in place. So there's another question: if a family are not open to early help but need a little support over the summer, would that fit in referrals, Joe?
So, sorry, say that again, Isabel. You broke up a little bit.
If a family are not open to early help but they need support over the summer, would you be able to accept that referral?
If it's from school, yes.
Yeah, brilliant. So is it only open to early help school-led families? So it is where schools, you accept referral from schools whether they're open to an early help assessment or not. So it is where schools are currently supporting, either as a single agency or as an early help assessment. That's when you can refer to the project. That's right, isn't it, Joe?
Yeah.
I'm just having a look through the other questions. Yeah, so similar questions than what we've already had. Any other questions from anyone? No, there doesn't seem to be anything else coming through. So I can see that Donna's in the room with us as well, Donna Ricketts, and she's going to cover Wednesday sessions about things to do delivered to you. I don't know if Donna can hear me.
Yes, I can. Hello, Isabel.
Hello. Do you want to do a little bit of a promotion about what you will be covering?
Okay, yeah. So on Wednesday, I'll be talking about things to do delivered to you, which is our offer of a range of positive activities and diversionary activities for young people over the 6-week summer holiday. So I'm aware due to current circumstances, we can't offer a range of positive activities in the community as we usually would. So we've decided to make packs, which include activities, resources, and also a range of direct work and worksheets for young people. And we're going to take it to young people. So things to do delivered to you.
Brilliant. Thank you, Donna.
Okay.
So for people that want to join us on Wednesday and find out more about that or ask any questions about how you can access it, then please join us on Wednesday. I can't see any further questions. So as I said before, PowerPoint presentation will be sent out with all the information you need about the Keep in Touch offer. We'll also send out an evaluation link, so if you can take 2 or 3 minutes to complete that, that would be really helpful for us to consider how we can improve these sessions or what else we can include. There are a number of other sessions planned, as I said, this week and all the way through July and August. Street teams, CAMs, all sorts of organisations are joining us and telling us about the offer of support they have available to children, young people and families. Have a look at the Safeguarding Partnership website to see what sessions are available. And if you missed any sessions, then you could re-watch, re-listen to the sessions again on the Safeguarding Partnership website. I'm just reading another question that's come in before I leave you, just to make sure that we've covered all the questions. Do we make reference to which outside the classroom pack a child is interested in? This is for children rag rate green, Michelle and Little Block Switch, Joe. So do they make reference, Joe, to that, or?
Say that again, sorry, Isabel.
So can I ask, do we make reference to which outside the classroom pack a child is interested in for children rag rate green?
Yeah, on the form there is a section where you can select which activity pack they're interested in.
Okay, but if they're not sure, then you will discuss that with the family and with the child included.
Yeah, and Donna will go through all of that on when she does her session.
Okay, brilliant. So if you're interested about the activity pack and you want to find out a little bit more what will be included, then join us on Wednesday is the message probably. So thank you, Joe, for giving us an outline of the Keep in Touch team. That's been really helpful. And Donna for joining us and doing a little bit of a promo of what you're going to be covering on Wednesday. And I'll see you, Donna, on Wednesday, and hopefully some of you will join us as well on in the next couple of weeks. So hope you enjoyed that, hope you found it useful, and hopefully see you again. Bye.
Bye.